London is still standing. The wooden houses rise tightly against each other. Smoke from thousands of chimneys drifts under a motionless sky. Nothing is burning yet. In less than 24 hours, the heart of this city will be reduced to ashes. Entire streets will vanish. Cathedrals will collapse. Thousands will lose everything they own. Today, we will not see the fire. We will see the hours before it. The last intact night of London before the fire changes everything. It is September 1666. London is already one of the densest cities in Europe. Almost 500,000 people live within and around its medieval walls. The streets are narrow. The structures are mostly made of wood and plaster. Upper houses jut out over the public ways, almost touching each other. From above, the city looks like a compressed fabric, an irregular network of sloping roofs, church towers, and chimneys. The River Thames flows heavily to the south, acting as a commercial artery and main transportation route. Nothing seems out of place. Nothing seems unstable. But every element we see, every dry beam, every tar-filled warehouse, every coal depot, is ready to become fuel. And the city doesn't know it yet.
The very structure of London is a latent threat. After the plague of 1665, the city is trying to recover. Construction has been rapid. Regulations, minimal. The priority is to return to normal. The houses are built with exposed wooden frames. Between them, narrow spaces where the air barely circulates. Streets like Pudding Lane are narrow, almost urban tunnels. The warehouses by the river contain oil, hemp, tar, dry wood. Maritime trade demands massive storage, and massive storage means flammable material quietly accumulated. The wind blows from the east that night, dry, steady. From an elevated perspective, the city seems solid, but in reality, it is an interconnected system where a single spark can spread unhindered. The church bells mark the hour. Carts creak over the cobblestones. Merchants close their stalls. No one looks at the beams as a danger. They are simply part of the scenery. And yet, architecture has already decided the outcome.
It's midnight. The streets gradually empty. The doors are locked with heavy bolts. The noise diminishes until it becomes a distant murmur. On Pudding Lane, a bakery continues its nightly work. The oven burns as it does every night. Nothing seems extraordinary. From above, London seems calm. Church towers like black silhouettes against the sky. The old St. Paul's Cathedral dominates the western horizon, its medieval structure still intact. The wind continues. The city sleeps under a false sense of permanence. At this exact moment, London is complete, intact, historically continuous. The concept of the Great Fire does not yet exist. There is only a city compressed in wood, tar, and hope. At some point before dawn, something changes. A smell, a faint glow, a sound out of place. But in a city used to constant smoke, nothing seems urgent. Neighbors can see an unusual light filtering through cracks. It could be the oven. It could be a lamp. The difference between routine and disaster is minimal. From above, the first flame has not yet dominated the landscape. It is barely a point. A glow contained between touching structures. The city is still recognizable. The bells do not ring alarm. The authorities do not move with urgency. Because no one believes that fire could consume London. Fires have happened before. They are always controlled. But this time, the wind is stronger. The beams are drier. The density is greater. The system is ready to collapse. As the fire grows stronger, the city reveals its structural vulnerability. The upper houses that jut out create a natural bridge for the flames. The heat leaps from one roof to another. The narrow streets act as wind corridors. From above, the spread is not random, it is geometric. A line of fire becomes a wall. The wall becomes a continuous front. Authorities hesitate to tear down houses to create fire breaks. Private property is valuable. Decisions are slow, and the fire does not wait. The Thames now reflects an uneven glow. Barges in the harbor begin to move away as a precaution. The smoke rises in denser columns. What was a compact and functional city just hours ago now begins to fragment. The church towers still stand, but the surroundings change. The sound is no longer a murmur. It is crackling. It is collapse. It is wood giving way under thermal pressure.
As the fire grows stronger, the city reveals its structural vulnerability. The upper houses that jut out create a natural bridge for the flames. The heat leaps from one roof to another. The narrow streets act as wind corridors. From above, the spread is not random. It is geometric. A line of fire becomes a wall. The wall becomes a continuous front. Authorities hesitate to tear down houses to create fire breaks. Private property is valuable. Decisions are slow, and the fire does not wait. The Thames now reflects an uneven glow. Barges in the harbor begin to move away as precaution. The smoke rises in denser columns. What was a compact and functional city just hours ago now begins to fragment. The church towers still stand, but the surroundings change. The sound is no longer a murmur. It is crackling. It is collapse. It is wood giving way under thermal pressure.
At dawn the next day, the horizon changes. The towers that define the city begin to disappear behind curtains of smoke. São Paulo burns intensely. The heat is so extreme that the lead from the roof melts and flows through the streets. From above, the urban center turns into an incandescent core. What once was an orderly network of streets is now a field of burning ruins. But remember, we are witnessing the hours before. Because before the total collapse, there was a suspended moment, an instant where everything was still in place. That is the point we have witnessed, the last intact layout of medieval London, a city that had survived plague, civil war, and political crisis, but that was not prepared for the fire amplified by its own density.
The Great Fire did not erase London, it transformed it. Over 13,000 houses destroyed, hundreds of churches lost, much of the city center reduced to ashes. But it also opened space for redesign, wider streets, building regulations in brick and stone. A new St. Paul's Cathedral would later arise, redefining the skyline. However, what we have seen today is not the rebuilt city. It is the city just before losing its medieval shape. A compressed wooden network, a prosperous but fragile system, a capital that seemed eternal on the night of September 1, 1666. In a matter of hours, its urban identity would change forever.
If there is another city you want to see in its last intact hour, another capital on the verge of irreversible change, leave it in the comments. In the next episode, we can reconstruct another suspended night, another moment when everything seemed stable just before it changed forever. History doesn't disappear, it transforms. And sometimes, all we need is to look one last time before the fire begins.